Hey, I've been hand quilting all morning and I wanted to pass on some tips if you wanted to get started hand quilting too. Number one, batting matters. In the beginning, opt for something thin like this bamboo blend. I've been hand quilting for a long time, so I opted for a high loft, puffy wool batting. It's really yummy. Depending on the thread you're using, now this is 8-weight thread, that's what I like to hand quilt with, you're gonna pick a needle that has an eye that barely fits that thread. If it's too big, you're gonna have a heck of a time pulling it through your fabric. A needle threader can help. The amount of times you need to knot your thread completely depends on how tight the weave of your fabric is. I'm using a poplin, which is Art Gallery Fabrics, and it's a really tight weave, so I can actually get away with only one knot. Now, if you're using a broadcloth like Kona cotton, you're probably going to need 2 knots because that's a looser weave. Let's say I wanted to start my stitches right here. I go in somewhere that's not right there. I pull my needle through, I pull my thread through, and oh, what a beautiful sound. I pop the knot. I then just give that a little scratchy scratch, close up the weave because the weave opened up to let my knot pop through, and voila, I'm ready to start stitching. My last tip is to make sure you're rocking your needle and not stabbing it from top to bottom. I have one hand, do you see that? Hello. I have one hand below the quilt and one hand above, and I'm just gonna take it and rock. Just rock and roll, rock and roll. And I'm using my thimbled finger to bear all of the weight right here of my needle. And I'm using my other finger, this one that's below here, to feel my needle is piercing all of the layers of my quilt. That way you don't get any skip stitches on the back of your quilt.